Okay, let's go.
For decades, the workplace has been built around one quiet expectation. Wait your turn. Wait for the approval. Wait for the sign off. Wait for someone higher up to say it's okay to move. That's how the system was designed. Because hierarchy values control, process values permission. And initiative sometimes gets mistaken for stepping out of line. But the workplace rebels of today are starting to challenge that pattern. They understand that many of the biggest breakthroughs at work didn't begin with permission. They began with someone willing to take initiative before the green light appeared. Because sometimes, progress doesn't come from waiting for approval. Sometimes, it comes from having the courage to act first. This is your resident office ninja reporting for duty. This is the Office Ninja Podcast. Let's be real for a moment. How many great ideas have died waiting for approval? You had the plan, the drive, the perfect timing, but someone said, let's revisit this next quarter. Or worse, who told you to do that? Most professionals know this feeling, stuck in the endless loop of waiting for permission. Waiting for the signal, waiting for that moment when someone higher up finally says yes. But what if the most powerful move you can make in your career is to stop waiting? What if real progress at work doesn't always ask for permission? Sometimes it simply demands action. And that's exactly what we're unpacking today. The psychology of waiting for permission. From our school days to our workplaces, we've been conditioned to ask before we act. Raise your hand before you speak. Submit a proposal before you move. Wait for approval before you try. It sounds respectful, and it is. But it also trains us to hesitate, to fear mistakes more than missed opportunities. In workplaces today, that mindset can kill innovation. Teams become compliant, not creative. Employees stop experimenting because baka mapagalitan. And leaders end up managing followers, not thinkers. Here's the irony. Most breakthrough ideas didn't come from someone who waited for permission. They came from someone who took the initiative and figured things out along the way. The problem with permission culture. Permission culture thrives in organizations obsessed with hierarchy. Everything has to pass through 3 layers of sign-offs. And by the time approval comes, the opportunity has passed. For HR and leaders, this mindset is dangerous. It breeds fear, slow progress, and kills accountability. Because when people only act when told, they also stop thinking when not told. Permission culture turns proactive employees into passive ones. And over time, that's how great companies fall behind. Not from lack of talent, but from lack of courage. The power of just doing it. Now, just doing it doesn't mean breaking rules or ignoring structure. It means owning your space. It's about trusting your judgment, moving with intention, and realizing that action creates clarity faster than overthinking ever will. When you take initiative, 3 things happen. Number 1, you signal leadership. People notice courage more than compliance. 2, you learn faster because real feedback only comes from action. And number 3, you inspire others because initiative is contagious. The workplace doesn't need more people asking, "Can I?" It needs more people saying, "I already did, and here's what I learned." Leading the anti-permission culture. If you're a leader or an HR professional, your job isn't to control every move. It's to create a culture of trust and accountability. That means rewarding initiative, not punishing imperfection. Encouraging experimentation, not blind obedience. And teaching people that failure isn't fatal. Inaction is. Imagine what your team could achieve if they didn't ask for permission every time they wanted to make something better. That's the kind of culture where innovation actually breathes. The inner peace in taking initiative. Here's the twist. Waiting for permission doesn't just delay progress. It drains your peace. You start doubting yourself, you overthink, you second guess every move. But when you finally decide to take that step, to act, to start, to try, you take back control of your narrative. You start doubting yourself. You overthink. You second guess every move. But when you finally decide to take that step, to act, to start, to try, you take back control of your narrative. Because inner peace doesn't come from approval. It comes from alignment when your actions match your beliefs. And here are some key takeaways from today's episode. Number 1, we've been trained to wait for permission, but that mindset limits growth. 2, permission culture kills creativity and accountability. 3, the most successful professionals take initiative, act fast, and learn forward. 4, great leaders don't just grant permission, they inspire ownership. And number 5, the ultimate peace comes from action aligned with purpose. And here's our call to action for the week. Ninja, what's one thing you've been postponing because you're waiting for a yes? This week, do it. Not recklessly, but decisively. Because sometimes, the biggest green light you'll ever get is the one you give yourself. If this episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend or a teammate who needs that push to stop waiting and start doing. And as always, prioritize your inner peace. This is your Office Ninja. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Sunday.